So you think you're pretty handy with a sword, huh? You should try Vanishing Realms. So Vanishing Realms is another one of these kind of, I guess, early games for the HTC VIVE. One of the first kind of games that I decided to kind of purchase based on some of the reviews I'd read about. And the fact that it's more of a real game than, I guess, just a pure technical demo. So again, it's not a really long game, but it's good in the sense it's got physical motion and it's got combat, which is always great, and it's really something enjoyable to kind of spend some time in VR. So a couple of things that I think are worth noticing about this game if you're considering trying it out. I wouldn't say the graphics are awesome, but I think they're definitely good or above average. But I think it's in keeping kind of with the style of the game, so it kind of all fits together. And basically, I guess you're a soldier or a knight in this game, and it's kind of a puzzle solving game. So you kind of travel through this world and you kind of discover different pieces of information on scrolls, and it kind of gives you clues, which then you obviously need to try and solve those and find things. And the way you equip yourself, so you don't have a sword or a shield or a magic wand or any of this stuff to start with, you have to be able to buy that. So you find this money by smacking your way kind of through things. So as you move past boxes, or you open chests or old caskets or stone burial coffins, I guess, you find jewels and coins and things, and all these things that you can then use. When you get to certain points in the game, you find yourselves in areas where you've got multiple swords that you can choose from, or a bow and arrow, or a shield, or it's kind of, I guess, a fire wand, I guess, is the only way to explain it, which you'll see in the video. So what I liked about this game is there seemed to be some purpose, in the sense, you're trying to solve puzzles. There's baddies to kill, so that's always interesting, both physically and also for someone to be watching you trying to slash the crap out of a enemy guard skeleton chap that's either trying to slash you with a sword as well, or shooting arrows at you. One of the things I did find about this game, though, is when you are trying to, I guess, fight back, it obviously seems a bit odd, right? Because you're slashing around in midair, and that you do get some, I guess, tactile response in the sense that the controllers vibrate slightly, but I felt that sometimes it's a little bit disjointed, so it wasn't always 100% clear kind of what was happening. So you feel like you were slashing someone or stabbing them, but nothing was happening in the experience. So that takes a little bit getting used to. But I think the good things I really like about the combat side is that you really can duck and weave, so sidestep away. So when someone's slashing you, if you kind of sidestep out of the way, you're not going to get hit, or you obviously move the shield in front of you. And also, if you kind of duck and kind of weave and kind of uppercut with a sword or what have you, you can have more impact. And natural AI of the enemies is pretty good as well. I wouldn't say it's not kind of super amazing, in the sense it's not really hard and complex. It's more an enjoyable style of gaming, but they don't just get beaten easily, and they do fight back, so it requires a bit of effort. I found, like I said, the gameplay, it's not a really long game, so a few hours or so you're probably going to get through like a lot of these early games. I think it's just still down to the fact that I don't think people really know how long or for how long a period of time and how much duration does someone want to spend in VR on these games. Personally, as I mentioned before, I don't really suffer from motion sickness or anything, so I'm happy to spend a while in there and come back to things. Talking about coming back to things, that's one thing I really like about this game. Progress saves. So when you come back to the game, you're continuing where you left off. Not like some of these the VR games where you've spent an hour and a half, you got to a certain point, it's late at night, so you decide you need to call it a day. When you come back, you're right back at the beginning again. And you're just like, what the hell is, this is just crap. You don't suffer that. I guess depending on the flip side of that, though, is when you want to give someone the experience of the game, the challenge of, you know, are you loading them back to where you are, or are you going to start again from scratch? And obviously that's going to put your kind of save back. So I guess I haven't looked into it in too much detail. Perhaps there is options to have different save slots. I don't know. But as much as I did enjoy the game, I did find kind of towards the end, it wasn't always clear what was happening, as in the sense of, you know, you've got the clues, you follow directions, you've discovered certain things, then when you kind of think you're on the right track, you know, you stumble down a dead end, and then sometimes you feel a lack of clarity of where to go next. So you're obviously going back, rereading the scrolls. One thing that I guess is good and bad is, I guess, reanimation of the enemies. So perhaps you've killed, you know, 20 guys to get down this corridor. When you come back, there will be some new ones there, typically, is what I tend to find. Not always. So in some instances, I guess thankfully, you know, an area was clear because you'd already killed them all. But I had seen some respawning, at least, which keeps it a bit interesting, as opposed to just mindlessly wandering around trying to work out what you're doing. But I enjoyed it. I think it's good to have variety of weapons as well. I love the bow and arrow just because of the tactile response and the vibrations you get during that experience. Slashing the sword is great as well. So this is definitely, I guess, an entry level Vive game that I think is worth people checking out. I guess, like with lots of them, I would recommend getting this one on offer or on deal, or try it out somewhere. It's not my favourite game, obviously it's not a top title, especially as one of the entry level ones. But I think it's definitely something you'd enjoy if you're getting the Vive for the first time and you're trying to work out what games are worth trying out. Vanishing Realms should definitely be on that list. Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.